Last week we went Suzuki GNCC racing at the Showtime GNCC, muddy Missouri. And it was Chris Jenks busting through for his first win of the year. He didn't just win it, he dominated. The momentum he gained with the win there could carry him into the points lead by the time we're done racing today in Ohio.
Hello and welcome to Racer TV. I'm Rachel Ayers.
And I'm Rodney Smith, 5-time GNCC champion.
We're here at the Penton GNCC, round number 6, and we're marking the halfway point of the series. And Rodney, we've seen some great racing so far.
Yes, we have. The competition's been fierce. We've had Chris Borch that's been leading this series since round 1, but we've had different winners each week, which has kept the points race real close.
Yeah, Bill Balance is usually, in the last 6 years, has been in the lead, and we've seen a new leader ever since round 1.
Yeah, but then again, Bill Balance is stalking them. It's only the halfway point, and anything can happen, and we got some good racing to come.
Well, it looks like it's going to be a beautiful day here at Penton GNCC. Let's head down to Jason and get a better look at the track.
Well, thanks a lot, Rachel and Rodney. Jason Wygant down here at the start for the Weisco Penton GNCC. And luckily, we can walk around no problem at all. We thought it would be muddy out here. We thought our shoes would stick to this stuff, but we're walking around no problem. Bright, sunshiny day and enough wind to dry this place out. So, the track is wide open. It will not be a survival race. It will be a bar-to-bar battle. They're not worried about Mother Nature. They're worried about each other. It's going to be an awesome race day. Before we get going, let's look at the track through the eyes of the Scott USA helmet cam. All right, out here on the racetrack. Again, it's dried out here, but there was a little rain earlier in the week, so that means it shouldn't be dusty either. It should be a good combination for these guys. And it's going to be tricky, especially on the first lap, to figure out, is it slick or is there some traction? You do not want to make mistakes on lap number 1 because the pack will be right behind you and they will swallow you whole. The rider on the Suzuki motorcycle here continues to take us through the track. You see the ruts have just started to develop. This is early in the weekend. These ruts will be very, very deep by the time we go racing. So you've got to be smart and pick good lines and race for 2 hours. So there's a lot of opportunity to make mistakes like just happened there. Chris Borch is our points leader right now. He is on the East Coast ATV Honda. Really strong early in the year, has been struggling a bit as of late. Bill Balance beginning to come on strong now and try to challenge him in the standings. But Balance struggled at our last race in Missouri. Missed an opportunity to get the points lead back. Now here's the guy on fire, Chris Jenks. Nearly won in Tennessee, won it in dominant fashion in Missouri. He is definitely in the hunt. And of course, you can never count out William Oakley, our old buddy on the Yoshimura Suzuki. He's got that new 450 ride this year, and he's getting faster and faster every week. Speaking of speed, it's time to step it up and go racing here at the Weisco Penton GNCC. The engines come to life, they're bumping wheels in the first turn, and it's Borch grabbing your ITP hole shot. Onto the motocross track here at Sunday Creek Raceway. Balance going to try to tuck it inside and not make the pass, so Borch is going to try to control this thing before we go into the woods. You see how he did it, a real short start here using the motocross track, and basically it came down to line selection. Borch is the points leader. He gets the pole position. He takes full advantage of that because they do, of course, pick their starting positions based on the points. And that's why he was inside of Bill Balance, and that's why he's got your ITP hole shot. Look at this. Tangle up in turn 1. Riders number 6 and 7. Brandon Balance on the Yamaha and the Honda. Oh, wait a minute. That is Chris Borch. He's got problems. Borch has not even made it into the woods yet, and he's just getting fired up. Well, you can see he's got problems there. He's unable to steer the machine. Yeah, look at that left front wheel all over the place. He actually has to wheelie. He's headed back to the pits. And a disaster for our points leader. And look who's in the lead now. Bill Balance taking advantage. This is a steep downhill. The TV cameras don't really show it. And then into a mud bog. First lap through, they have no idea where to go. And they're just slipping and sliding through. So Balance, well, he must have saw whatever did happen to Borch. He now knows he's in control of this one. The rest of the pack starting to string out behind Balance. It's going to be hard to figure out who is who out here. And so far, well, they like the left side of that mud bog, but I guarantee you that will change as the day goes on. Because once all these ATVs go through, they're going to dig those ruts out. They're going to have to find a new way through. Now for Balance, what's got to be running through his mind, his rival Borch is back in the pits. We have still not seen Borch come through. I don't know if they're going to be able to get that thing repaired at all. So a disaster for our points leader. Here it is. Now we've got Pro-Am riders out front. A bit of confusion here. Kyle Martin now in the overall lead. Now these guys start on row number 2. The rumor is there's a bottleneck or some section of the course has held some of our pro racers up and allowed the riders from row number 2 to actually get out in front of them. And that's it. So Balance had an opportunity to relax. He's not relaxed anymore. He's got to catch these guys because some problems that our pros have run into on lap number 1. We got to re-sort through all this. It's going to be a wild day here in Ohio. Stay with us. Welcome back, Racer TV. GNCC action brought to you by Suzuki, ATV, Rocky Mountain, Yamaha, Moose, and Polaris. It's attack of the Pro-Am riders. Look at them. They're all over the place. Had some problems with our pro riders on row 1 on the first lap. And here we are 5 miles into the race now, and Pro-Am riders are leading this thing. Now, those guys are breaking through from the amateur ranks into the pro ranks. That's why we call them Pro-Ams. They start on row 2. But apparently there's a problem on the course, held up some of the pro riders, and that has allowed the riders on row 2 to get out in front of them. And you see here at the 10-mile mark, unfamiliar territory. These guys might not even realize they are not just leading their class, they are leading the race. Now trying to get an update, Bill Balance, there he is. He's leading the pro class as he was when we last left. Everybody else is covered. It's going to be hard to pick out the numbers. They are making things difficult on me. There is Yoakley coming through. You notice the look of that new Suzuki, and a big battle going on here. Now it's going to string out big time because you got the pros coming through the Pro-Ams, and that is going to be very, very difficult. You see how narrow these trails are. These guys are going to have to make a lot of passes. Look at our pro leaderboard down there. Chris Bittle actually moved into the number 3 spot. He is a rookie along with Dwayne Johnson. So the 2 rookies doing very well once again. And Jenks in the number 5 spot as we see Yoakley coming through here. Jenks not able to capitalize so far on the momentum he built up from our previous round. We just saw Yoakley, Bittle, and Balance come through the page here. And they have got a lot of traffic to deal with. They should be able to get through these guys, but man, if you lose a couple of seconds stuck behind, there you see guys hollering, yelling, trying to use alternate lines here, doing anything they can to try to get around the Pro-Am riders. And these Pro-Am guys are fast. Let there be no doubt. These guys can run. They're not going to make it easy. They're not going to get up positions. Why not? It's a race, and they do count in the overall as well. Now, right now out front is Kyle Martin. He just went through. That's number 47 right there. That is Ryan Morphew in the number 2 spot. Again, Pro-Am and overall. So the pro riders have a lot of work to do if they want to get up there and try to win this thing overall. And their points, of course, count from the overall scores as well. Now, normally that's not a factor. The Pro-Am riders are not out in front of them, but today that could make all the difference. I think we might finally be seeing Yoakley coming through the rest of these pros. But lap 1 is complete, and indeed it is Kyle Martin on the number 82 out front. The rest of these guys, they've got to be just as confused. I don't even know if their crews have told them, listen, you guys are in the lead overall. Run for it. And you might have to do a Bill Balance and William Yoakley. There is Balance right now. Leading the pro class, and Chris Bittle right there, Dwayne Johnson. Actually, Yoakley has already come through. So Yoakley's in the lead in the pro class, and he is going to try to track down Kyle Martin, Wes McGlumpy, and the rest of these guys who are out front of the Pro-Am. Through the pits and these motocross sections, the track is very wide. This is where you can make your passes. And you know these guys are going to try to take advantage of this. Look at the pack. Pro-Am class got a lot of talent out there. And they've got to be nervous right now. They are running the point position, and it's difficult because the track is not burned in. There's Brandon Balance in the pits. Now we saw him get tangled up with Brian Baker early in this race, and maybe some after effects of that have taken Brandon out. Look at how rough, we call it the mulch pile. Look at how rough that section is. Trying to pick up the number on that machine. I believe that's still Martin out front. And man, look at how hard this guy is hanging it out. He knows he's got an opportunity, and look at Balance. Balance is a second rider, the third rider now through on your left. Or sorry, yeah, on our left, his right. And he is taking on the entire Pro-Am class single-handedly. He's hollering, he's yelling, he's screaming, get out of the way, I'm coming through, I want to go to the front. Back to that Suzuki special test now here on lap 2. This has just become one of the wildest races we have seen all year. And look at how deep those ruts have gotten now. You know, the sunlight and all those guys splashing the mud out. It's not quite as muddy as it was earlier, but those ruts are deep. Once you're in them, there is no getting out. And you do not want to be stuck behind a slower rider through that section. I know it looks wide through here, but there's only one good line. As rough as that was going up that hill, well, actually, it's a whole lot worse if you go outside of that. We had a rider stuck here. That's what I'm talking about. You try to experiment with new lines, and what looks to be a very easy section, like this trap, a 400-pound ATV. As we look at it with our Yamaha replay, this guy didn't attack that section with enough momentum. Probably didn't appear to be that difficult to get through. But it definitely feels that way now when you have to get off your machine and try to lift a 400-pound quad when it's being sucked into the ground through mud. That takes a lot of energy. Look at this. Balance has now worked his way all the way back into the front. Here is Yoakley on the outside trying to make moves. He wants to run with Balance. He does not want to let a defending champion get away. I think that was Martin coming through that section. Martin looks a little bit worn out. I'm sure he was running at absolute max pace, trying to hold these guys off. It's just a different life out there in the pro class. Look how relaxed Balance is through here. No cares, no worries. He's gotten back out front. He knows where he is on the track, and he's feeling good about his chances today. Jenks has now moved into second, so Jenks now starting to catch fire. Not a surprise there, considering how well Jenks has ridden the last couple of weeks. We're going to try to sort through all this when we get back. It has been a wild day of GNCC racing. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Josh Upperman, Team Motorsport Honda rider. For this week's Motorsport Hot Product of the Week features the Alloy Evolution Kidney Belt. The Alloy Evolution Kidney Belt is designed for comfort as much as support. I wear the Alloy Evolution Kidney Belt because it helps my lower back, it keeps my back supportive, and it's very comfortable for me when I'm out on the track. And right now at motorsport.com, you can find the Evolution Kidney Belt and all the Alloy merchandise at unbelievable blowout prices. And that's this week's Motorsport Hot Product of the Week.
All right, thanks a lot, Josh. Back to GNCC Racing here. Racer TV and the Outdoor Life Network. Bill Balance, your defending series champ, is trying to run away with this one right now. Chris Jenks, who won our previous race, is going to try to run him down. Yoakley's there in the number 3 position. Now, Balance has been waiting for a breakthrough ride all year long. He doesn't want to win one of these in a battle. He wants to establish dominance like he has had in the last couple of years. Let's see if today is the day to do it. There's Jeremy Rice, a privateer in a Suzuki in the number 5 spot. Good riding for Jeremy. He's a former champion of that Pro-Am class we were talking about before. Lap 2 is now complete, and a little bit more normalcy returning to the top of the Suzuki leaderboard with Balance, Jenks, Johnson, Bittel, and Yoakley are top 5. They are all out of the Pro-Am class, so they have managed to survive that temporary scare win early in the race. Jenks in and out of the GT Thunder pits. And there's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in the pits as well. Now, Dwayne has been very, very consistent this year. He is knocking on the door of a podium, and he's got to be the surprise player of the year. Virtual unknown coming into this season. He has been on fire. Through the mulch pit, Chris Jenks battling. Let's talk to his father.
He's getting where he wants to be on his confidence, and I think this is really going to help him and boost him for the rest of the year. He's got a lot of good backers and sponsors this year, and they've really been working with him. Now he's got his self-confidence built up. Everybody's been telling him, Chris, you can be there. You're as good as they are. Now, I think he's showing it.
Well, no doubt about that. Chris has stepped it up. A breakthrough season last year, and he has continued to elevate his game. He has been the biggest threat for the Killer Bees of Balance and Forge this year. Look at this mulch pile. Unbelievable how rough that has gotten. As we try to sort through, we're going to try to find Chris Borich out there. He is our points leader. He has had problems. Let's take you through the race. No pressure for Bill Balance right now. Defending GNCC champ is pulling away. He obviously likes the conditions out here. The real pressure is Dwayne Johnson. He's been knocking on the door of a podium all year long. He might get it today if he can hold off a couple of veteran riders, Jenks and Yoakley and Chris Bittel, who was on the podium earlier this year in the hunt as well. We basically got 5 riders battling for 3 podium spots. Headed toward the Suzuki special test again, and that is the Suzuki of Yoakley, proving that 450 motocross style quad can definitely get it done in the woods as well. And there is Bittel on the charge going after him. Bittel just 17 years old, and he is not afraid to run with the leaders, not afraid to run with the veterans who've been doing this for a long, long time. But no one has been able to run with Balance today. He is pulling a huge lead in this field, and he's got to be feeling it. A little boost of confidence for him, the fact that Borich went out early, and today it has been all Balance. But in GNCC racing, you see how rugged these sections are. You never know when a section can come up and bite a rider. And I think Yoakley and Bittel are just going to try to keep the pressure on, put their heads down, and see if they can't catch back up. All right, here it is. Balance continuing to lead here at the 4-mile mark. Look at how fast he's going through these fields wide open. But here we go. We see Jenks on the move here, too. And he looks to be going maybe even a little bit faster. So these guys are definitely not out of the hunt yet. Lap traffic all over the place. So when you get in these fields, you have got to make passes and take advantage. And Jenks is just on fire right now. Absolute locking up the brakes, grabbing the clutch, nail the throttle as soon as he lets that clutch out, just exploding out of these corners, and that GT Thunder Honda. And the riders coming through here, they're all chasing after Balance. Wait, we got a report here that Balance has actually run into trouble with lap traffic. We have not been able to find him out of the track. We're waiting here at the 5-mile mark for him to come through. We have still not seen our leader Balance come through. What more can happen today? Now at the 7-mile mark, there's a lapper. There's Yoakley. There's Jenks. And that's Chris Bithell coming through right here on the LTE racing machine. We have lost our leader. Balance has gotten into trouble somewhere on the track. Probably got tangled up in the lapper. Maybe got stuck in one of those mud holes. But either way, our leader is now William Yoakley. Here comes Jeremy Rice coming through inside the top 5. Great racing up front. Again, we got a 3-rider fight. We have got Yoakley, Jenks, and Bithell battling for the lead. And here they come at the 10-mile mark. It looks like Jenks has now got the lead back from Yoakley. So Jenks trying to take advantage of the opportunity. It looked like Balance was going to get away with this one, but somewhere on the track, disaster has struck for our champ. Our leaderboard there says he is back in the number 6 position, and there he is. Not sure what happened to Balance. I'll venture a guess. It was lap traffic. He's got a long way to go. He's going to make up maximum points today. And if he continues to struggle, Jenks is going to be the one taking advantage of the point standings. He needs a break, and he's gotten it. We're going to take one.
Here we have the G-Force adjustable width racing axle. Made from hardened chromoly steel, this axle is adjustable between 2 to 4 inches wide, wider than your stock. Comes complete with the Pawsey lock nut and the castle nuts. This is one of the best off-road axles available. Good for off-road, GNCC type racing, or motocross racing. Available exclusively at RockyMountainATV.com.
Thanks a lot, Travis. Welcome back to Racer TV. Suzuki GNCC action from Ohio. There is your leader, Chris Jenks, out front, putting the hammer down, trying to get away from this man, William Yoakley. Everyone else has had some problems out here today, including our points leaders, Balance and Borich. It's been very difficult to keep up with the action.
Last lap here at the John Penton, and Chris Jenks in the lead, trying to make it 2 in a row, but he is not out of the woods yet.
With Bill Balance and William Yoakley on his tail, we know that they're going to battle it down right to the end.
Yeah, and that's the way we like it in GNCC. Now Balance, a lot on the line for him. He's got a golden opportunity to make up some points today.
Yeah, we've had an action-packed day so far with Chris Borich actually breaking a tie rod within the first 10 minutes of the race. He lost a good 6 minutes, went back out there, had another little crash, but it looks like it's not going to be his day.
No, Rachel's been down here in the pits checking this out. We got to go back and get to the finish of this race. It's going to be awesome.
4.5 miles in. Chris Jenks trying to win 2 GNCCs in a row for the first time in his career. And the pressure is now actually being applied by Bill Balance. The report is Yoakley is stuck somewhere out of the course with possible mechanical problems. Yoakley and Jenks were going at it hard on the last lap. And unfortunately, Yoakley is going to go from nearly winning this thing to 0 points. Take advantage of that. Balance will take that position gladly. And now only one more rider stands in his way of winning a race that we thought he was guaranteed to win earlier. Balance had a huge lead. He ran into problems. Jenks has taken advantage of all this. Balance going to try to track him down here on the last lap. There is the leader. Jenks pounding his way through the mud. Obviously his fitness is good. 9 miles into the last lap. Here's Balance trying to track him down. Balance a handful of throttle on the Yamaha. There is Bithell in the number 3 spot. So Bithell looking for yet another podium. Not bad for a 17-year-old. Also Dwayne Johnson in the hunt. He's going for his first ever podium, so we got a couple of battles to watch out there, but no battle for the lead. Chris Jenks has done what he's had to do. He's headed for home, and he's going to win 2 GNCCs in a row, and what's more, he is the first rider all year long to pull that off. Chris Jenks is coming into his own. Bill Balance, we thought this was his day. He probably did too, but considering the problems he ran into, second place is not bad, and he'll make up a ton of points on Chris Borich, who we hear is circulating somewhere outside now of the top 10 after bending a tie rod early and crashing midway through this race. And now Johnson has moved into 3rd. Now the report is that Bithell has run into engine problems. Another disaster on what has turned into a very, very difficult day of racing, and The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, going to take advantage of that and take his first ever podium. Checkered flag is out, and Chris Jenks has won 2 straight in the Suzuki GNCC Series. He has got to be pumped up. This guy works a full-time job. He's not a factory rider like Yoakley, Borch, and Balance. He's got the heart and determination to overcome it. Also, he's a local boy here, so he's got a lot of friends and fans out here. Rice and Gallagher, good job to get in the top 5, and Chris Borch ends up 10th. Let's talk to the winner.
Yeah, everything's going great right now, 2 in a row. Getting some points on the people I'm trying to catch, and everything's rocking and rolling. I'm not going to say it was easy, but having all the fans and friends here, it definitely kept me motivated. Had the great machine here, GT Thunder, Hauser, Elcom Axis, Hyper Wheels. Everything's working great. Just rode my butt off and kept it out of trouble for the most part. Put it up front and got another one.
Had a big battle on that last lap.
Yeah, William was behind me, and I had a feeling he had a bunch of friends with him, so I knew they had to pass me to beat me, and that's going to be the difference from here on out. I've learned how to win. And, if I have to go a little bit slower at times, that's fine. They still got to pass me when I got to let them pass me, I guess, but I'm not going to do that, so just keep on plugging away and getting these overalls.
It's going to be a good time tonight, isn't it?
Hell yeah.
Congrats.
Hey, thank you.
Oh, he has got to be happy, and look at how close the point standings are. Balance gets himself into the points lead, but by just a hair, and Jenks not far out of it as well. He's going to celebrate. He's got a lot of family out here. That's what it's all about, going GNCC racing. A great day at the races. We're glad you could join us here on Racer TV. For Rodney Smith and Rachel Ayers, I'm Jason Wygant. We'll see you next week.
The Grand National Cross Country Championship is sanctioned by the American Motorcyclist Association. Rights, Riding, Racing. AMA. Join now. Call 1-800-AMA-JOIN.